Hey, what's up my friends? Today I'm gonna show you how to dehydrate chili peppers. I'm gonna show you how to take this and turn it into this, and possibly even this, all with the magic of the amazing Dehydrator. You guys, I am the author of the Spicy Dehydrator cookbook, so this is what I call fun. So, hey, let me show you how to do it. All right guys, so I'm gonna show you how to dehydrate chili peppers with a dehydrator. There's really many reasons why you may wanna dehydrate chilies, and we'll get into all of that a little bit later. But the first thing I wanna say is this works with any type of chili pepper. It doesn't matter if it's big, small, sweet, hot. You can dehydrate any chili pepper, and it really depends on what you want to use it for. And you can dehydrate them whole, or you can cut them and dehydrate them. It really depends on what your purpose is going to be later. All right, so before we begin, make sure you wash and dry all of your peppers. But here I have a smattering of chilies that I picked out of my garden just the last couple days. I've got some larger Italian sweets that are delicious. I got a couple of different cayenne type peppers that I'm growing this year. Here's a couple of Scotch bonnets. I got a lot of these, but I usually use those for other things. But I have a boatload of 7-pots. Like, look at these guys, these crazy, they're hot 7-pots. They're hotter than Ghost. I love 7-pots. I really love them dried. But again, how you prepare them for drying depends on how you want to use them later. Some of these, you can dry them whole if you want to. Just you don't have to cut them or anything. Actually, I get a lot of questions about people asking me, hey, can I dry these whole? Absolutely you can. And if you do want to dry them whole, I suggest just kind of poking a little hole or maybe a slit down into the pepper to allow airflow to come through, because that's how a dehydrator works. It just continually blows warm air over the pods until it just sucks out all the moisture, drying it completely. And you can remove the stems at this point if you want to, or snap them off later. And you can remove the seeds before doing any of this, or they'll usually just fall out later, and I'll show you how that kind of looks like after we dry them. So let me do a couple of these kind of more whole, like so. This one I'll just do kind of a slit. Don't have to go crazy, but you can see it. So these cayennes, these are actually fantastic for making chili flakes or powders, you know, cayenne powder, homemade cayenne powder, yum. And I have a recipe for that on the website. All right, couple more slits. All right, so for some of these larger pods, again, depends on the final use for them, but the thicker walled ones like this, I'm gonna cut this one in half. And you can see the innards right here. The thicker walled peppers are gonna take longer to dry. But I'll go ahead and I'll do these guys whole too, and I'll just pop this stem off, just because I want to. And I will set it right here under the dehydrator. All right, and then some of these guys, I'm gonna wind up grinding these into flakes and then maybe possibly powders later. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them more in half. And you can see these are thinner walled peppers, so I don't have to chop them too much. But the smaller you chop them, the faster they will dehydrate. But again, it really just depends on your final use for them. And I should say, when you're starting to work with hotter peppers like the habaneros or the Scotch bonnets, especially like 7-pots or anything above a million Scoville heat units, you might want to wear gloves. I'm going to treat these gently, but if you're going to be handling a lot of these, wear gloves, because the oils can get on your skin and cause burning sensation. I've been doing this for so long, I still get little burns, but it's not, you know, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I think I'm just used to it. I'm broken inside. Patty's laughing at me. She still laughs at my jokes like 20-something years later. All right, guys, I have all of my peppers prepared as needed. They're washed and dried and then chopped as needed. This process works with any dehydrator. If you're looking for dehydrator recommendations, I actually have some information on the website at chilipeppermadness.com that you can check out. But once you have them all set up and ready to go, you're just gonna pop them into your dehydrator and dehydrate at 135 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. I usually do 135, which is like 57 to 60 degrees Celsius. You don't wanna go too hotter than that, because you'll wind up scorching the peppers or even like starting to cook them. You don't want that. You just wanna dry them out gently. And the amount of time that it takes really can vary. It can take anywhere from 4 hours to 24 hours overnight. I usually leave mine overnight. It almost never takes 4 hours. A lot of it depends on your environmental conditions, ambient conditions in the house, the size and thickness of the pods, and if you're dehydrating other things. So you just really have to leave it in there for as long as it takes until they're very dried. And you really can't over dry them. I mean, you can leave them in quite a while. So, all right, I'm going to dehydrate these and then bring them back and we'll see what they look like. All right, guys, here we are. It has been about 18 hours and you can see these peppers are dried. They are dehydrated and you can tell just by looking at them, they are very dry looking. But also kind of brittle looking, and they've shrunk in size and overall weight as well. You just pick it up and you feel the dryness. They're very brittle at this point. So one big question is, how long do dried or dehydrated chili peppers last? Basically, properly dehydrated chili peppers will last indefinitely. These are just gonna last years and years, really, unless some kind of moisture creeps back in the air. There's just no moisture here, so there's nothing to rot. So what you really want to do is you just want to bag them up and put them somewhere like a pantry or even a vacuum seal if you want to. But they'll last for a long, long time in your pantry, or you can use them right away. And that's really the main point of this. So let me talk about my 3 favorite ways to use dried chili peppers. Number 1 is chili flakes. You can buy chili flakes from the store, of course. Usually you get something that you put on your pizza and it's not really very hot. But when you dehydrate your own chilies, you can make your own blends of chili flakes and make them as hot as you want to. You can toss them into one of these and just, break them up, mortar and pestle, boom, boom, boom. Or a real simple way is a baggie. So I'm just gonna toss my 7 pots actually into this baggie here. And be careful, use gloves if you need to. These can still burn your skin. Lingering burn, believe me. And you can knock the seeds out if you want to. When you're doing flakes, to me it's a bit optional, but the seeds will often just fall out pretty easily. Dude, that took about 10 seconds. That's how dry they are. They're just, boom, they're brittle, break right apart. You can pick out any kind of large little bits and such. But yeah, check it out. Chili flakes, hot chili flakes. Come on, man. All right, my second favorite reason for dehydrating chili peppers is chili powder. So you can buy chili powder from the store like cayenne or paprika, absolutely awesome. But when you make them at home, it's so much better. You will not get more pungent, fresh chili powders from the store, than you can make at home. It doesn't get any fresher than this. It's a lot better than something maybe that's been sitting on the shelf for a month or longer. So the pungency is amazing. And number 2 is you can make your own special blends. So if I have a mix of peppers, I can make my own chili powder blends that are different heat levels and different flavor combinations. It's super fun, and chili powders are an essential ingredient actually in the Spicy Food Lover's Kitchen. So in order to do so, you get your pepper here and remove the stem if you haven't already done so, and it should just pop right off. And also remove any excess seeds. So the thing about the seeds, seeds are edible and they're usually okay in a chili flake situation, in which case you can remove those too, but when you grind them, they actually become quite bitter. They're already inherently bitter by themselves. So if you grind them, they just bring out all that extra bitterness, plus color. It's a little off-putting with the color. You get these little white flecks in there and all that. So go ahead and remove it. And I'm gonna set these aside here for now. Get all the seeds out of here. And they just fall right out. All right, guys, I've got all the stems and seeds taken out. The next step is to go ahead and process it with a grinder. I like to have a dedicated piece for grinding chilies. You can use something like a coffee grinder, but you don't want to you want to keep it just for chilies because you don't want to be mixing like that with your coffee. I don't think so. But anyway, I have this a magic bullet, and I just have a certain piece that I use only for grinding spices and chilies and things. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this over. Just all the dried pods, minus the seeds and stems. You probably get some seeds in there. I just try to avoid them. They're everywhere. Seeds are everywhere. I find them all over the house. It's kind of like, where'd you come from? All right. So I'm gonna grind this up like so. Very easy. All right. So at this stage, I did one grind here, and I'm gonna go ahead and sift it into a bowl, because you'll still probably get some bits in here depending on your grinder and how good it is. But this looks pretty good, actually. Oh, wow. This is pretty amazing. Awesome. Oh, yeah, see, there's like little bits in there. I mean, what you'll do is you'll strain it here. But yeah, here's the little leftover bits. A couple seeds. All right, boom, check me out, man. I got me some homemade cayenne powder with some Scotch bonnet in there, so it's gonna be like a delicious little blend. Spicy. My third favorite way for using dehydrated chilies is rehydration. So when you have dried pods, again, they last for such a long time, you can rehydrate them and make flavor bases for so many different things. With rehydrating chilies, all you have to do is add them to a bowl with very hot water and let them steep until they become nice and soft, and then you can process them up and flavor all kinds of dishes. They can flavor up soups, pots of stew, big pots of chili, and they can also make delicious big flavor sauces. You rehydrate them, process them as they are with a little bit of liquid or other flavorings. There's just so many ways to use them. Think about something like Mexican cuisine, for example, that has so many different recipes that use dried pods. I can't really make a delicious pot of chili Colorado, for example, or even an awesome homemade enchilada sauce without dried pods. So perfect way to use it, guys. Guys, I do hope you will check out my cookbook, the Spicy Dehydrator Cookbook. 95 recipes, fun ways to use your dehydrator. Table of contents, I mean, I've got how to make homemade seasoning blends and powders, just like we were playing with today. Fruit, veggie, and sauce leathers, like a spicy fruit roll-up, yummy. How to make hot sauce from dried peppers. Making jerky, I mean, a lot of people love jerky, right? It's delicious. Homemade soups and stew mixes. I got camping, hiking, and easy meals. I mean, you wanna go camping, dehydrate yourself, bring it. Boom, you got an awesome meal on the trail. And snacks and munchies, drinks and infusions. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with your dehydrated peppers. I also have an older version of this video, so if you wanna check that out, lots of good information, still extremely relevant. I just look a little younger, but you get to see how wonderfully I have aged since then. That's it, my friends. That is how you dehydrate chili peppers and make chili flakes and powders and all kinds of amazing things. So I hope you enjoy the recipe today, and I would love to hear what you guys wind up making with your dehydrated chilies. And if you are looking for some more amazing recipes, boom and boom right here, they're popping up. I think I want this one. No, this one. No. Anyway, I hope to see you in the kitchen next time. Mike from Chili Pepper Madness. Bye.